Live Show. We in this bitch. Two Live Show. We keep it lit. Two Live Show. Our facts legit. Two Live Show. I got them views. Two Live Show. She got them too. Two Live Show. We can't not lose and we won't. Two Live Show. Ayy. Back in this thing. Welcome aboard. Had to take a week off because y'all needed a little time to watch the other videos and the other videos. Get them up into the hundons like we used to do. We're going to get back there though. Welcome aboard to the Two Live Show. I am the nice one, and my lovely co-host is Joy. All right.
How you doing today?
Well, you know, I would normally be wearing my LA Dodgers hat, but that's a no-go today because the Braves got lucky. I figured the way we won with the Giants, I didn't like the way they gave us that shit because that fucking pitch that they called out wasn't really a pitch. I mean, it wasn't a swing. So I felt like some bad karma was gonna fucking fall. And the fucking Braves been trying to beat us since 1999. They finally did the shit. So it's like, the laws of physics say they got to come through one time out of every 21 years. So, but anyway,
I blame our pitching. We just ran because was it Travis or Trevor Bauer did that freak shit? It was your fault. So our pitchers backs couldn't go. You know what I mean? Urias was couldn't go.
Yeah.
So it's
the bats wasn't lighting up like they normally do.
It's just you can't win them all.
And then my Lakers, they look horrible the first two games. I mean, Westbrook, I didn't really feel good about that trade. I'm just keeping 100. I hope they work that shit out, but
AD and Howard got into it.
What? I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was the second game that they lost against Phoenix. They're shoving each other. I'm like, what is going on?
They need to get that shit together. That's what's going on. It's grown old men and they stuck in their ways, so that's why they having issues. But they gonna iron that shit out.
And Melo went off the other night. I heard Melo.
Yeah, that's why we got that W. So that's why I got the.
So we're 1 and 2.
The blackout with the we're 1 and 2. Yeah, you're right. You're 2, 1 and 2.
It's Yeah, it's been a tough week for LA teams. UCLA lost at the last minute against Oregon. It's just,
hey man,
even
the Giants fall down sometimes.
Yeah, you're right. Speaking of LA, shout out to Snoop Dogg. He lost his mother, I believe, this morning.
Send my condolences. Bring my big Snoop Dogg homie.
Uncle Snoop,
you know what I'm saying?
Get through
R.I.P. to his mom. Damn. And Freeway, he lost
his daughter to cancer.
Yeah, it's crazy shit. 21 years old, man.
She's a baby. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, you gotta be careful out here, man. I mean, go get checked out. I know the men out here in these streets, but we don't like seeing no doctors. We got all these paranoias and these superstitions about the doctor and shit. But when you are 35 and up, really anytime. But when you at that age and at that point, you need to go see your physician every year, bro. Like real spill.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to our dear Jackson for giving me this shirt. Thank you so much, Jackson.
Right.
That's appreciate it.
And everybody should know who these two legends are. If you don't, go look it up.
So what you got going on? What you got going on? How was your week?
My week was business, all at the barbershop, trying to get the interior fixed and renovated, making some changes, putting a wall up for the ladies to have more soundproof for all the football talking shit. All these niggas talk about football all day back there, or the Falcons and all that. So they to get that little silence on their side, we putting a wall up, changing the color, the lighting, the vending machine. Had to buy some shit at Costco. Shout out to Costco for having the big shit for a good price. So, just getting it done. I had a little issue on Sundays with one of my clients. I don't know if he's still one or not, but dude text me as I'm driving, so I'm supposed to crash my car and fucking just answer his text. Text say 2 o'clock. Okay. I told you 66 times I get to the shop on Sunday at 2 o'clock. So fine, I get there. Folks already called me to make appointments. You know, that's just how men take care of their fucking business. They make appointments. You know what I'm saying? And they be on time. So uh, that happened, and then he got in his feelings, and you know what I'm saying. Now I don't know. That was last Sunday. He ain't come back this Sunday. So no, I was trying to tell him, hey, get out your feelings. Ain't no money in there. And if you gone, then say la vie, baby. So yeah, a lot of shop shit. You know what I'm saying. Another thing, if you make an appointment, bruh, if you tell me a time and then it's an hour later, then expect to get talked to greasy, like, or just it's just out of respect to let me know you're not gonna be there on time, man. I just don't like that shit, man. And you shouldn't like that either. If you telling somebody they're gonna do something and they wasting your time. I know you wouldn't like that. So, give me the same respect that you would like. Yeah, barbershop shit. That's what I've been up to.
Dope.
Anyway, what's that Melon report looking like? What was who great ones? One of the great ones
One
in
of the
our
great ones
histories.
that it goes unheard. A lot of
Mm,
history there. The admiral, of course, was in the Navy.
mm.
So we're gonna give a shout out to the first Black Army general, General Benjamin O. Davis.
Army, then Navy. Okay. And though you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned us,
Mm-hmm.
he ain't one, but
I
okay.
mean,
Yeah, serviceman. Just
yeah,
say a serviceman.
serviceman. Born in 1877
Okay.
in a district.
All right.
He was
Free? Well, he had to be. It was
yeah, I
after.
mean 18. Yeah,
You
he was
said,
after war.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. So what happened? He joined the army in 1898. He was actually one of the first black graduates of West Point.
Mm-hmm.
During his time at West Point for 4 years,
Okay.
not a single cadet spoke to him.
Mm.
So imagine spending 90%
The
of your life
whole school
and the
year.
whole school does not talk to you. But he graduated.
Wow.
He saw his first action in the Spanish American War.
Mm.
And after that, in the 1940s, he went and taught at Tuskegee University for war tactical formation.
All right. So,
And
what's his name again?
General Benjamin O. Davis Sr.
I hope they got a statue or something of him for
No,
anywhere. No,
no statue. No
that's
statue.
crazy.
But we have General Lee somewhere.
Yeah.
He was awarded the title of general in 1960. Soon after, he did retire, and then he died. Actually, later, it was so weird. Like he didn't really get a chance to
Damn.
enjoy that.
Enjoy
But
his little, yeah.
yeah, so but thank you, General Benjamin O.
For
Davis
setting
Sr.
the path, yeah.
Yeah, now I think 1967. He passed.
Yeah, well, that's one of the many stories in history we were not taught
Mm.
in elementary, middle, or high school. And then you really have to take black studies to learn about it if they taught it there. I don't know if you learned about it there either, but I guess you would think you would learn it there. But you have to pay to learn about your own history. That's how you know the history you know is not the correct history.
And then
So,
when they complain about critical race theory,
yeah.
Condoleezza Rice was like, if we teach the
Oh
truth,
wow, this
if we teach the truth, then white kids will be
feeling
hurt.
hurt.
I'm like,
When
and
they want to make
they
when they want to
should,
make a joke on us
yeah,
or making it say the little nigger or all that shit, they don't feel no kind of bad
no,
about us
they don't,
or
they
what
see it
they
hurts.
inflict
So,
on us.
well, the thing with history is,
So how's the truth inflicting on them more than what they
what
inflict
do
on
other people? So imagine,
backward ass?
imagine how Native kids feel about Thanksgiving. We're telling this big damn line.
Yeah,
It led up to a massacre, right? But we
it
have
ain't
to
enough
take,
of them, but
yeah, but
it's sad
we
that
have to
too.
take the word of the conqueror, and yet
Yeah.
we're supposed to have our history just completely, whitewashed to make you feel better. Tell the truth, because you know what, they're gonna find out anyway. You better, they're gonna find out. But the thing is, critical race theory is
Mm,
not taught in any public education school, not even a graduate
you
level.
will hope they gonna find out because these kids nowadays they only know as much as they know in their group chat and TikTok and all that shit. So to the percentage that do go to school and want to learn about their history and about themselves, knowledge of self, then shout out to y'all.
Well, they ain't even gotta
Y'all
go to college.
8%.
YouTube shit.
Yeah, just in general, if you want to know about yourself,
Yeah,
it's still a low percentage stuff
yeah,
because
that's true. Facts.
we go learn about everybody else's culture and want to put on they clothes and they brand and all that, and then look out down on our own shit. So
Mm.
we need to change that mindset.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
So what we talking about today?
I think, it's a very important topic leading
Mm.
into this. Dads and sons relationship, what happened to us. Before I'm going to go on this, I would say that I think black men and fatherhood has been completely misrepresented. Also, the history behind fathers not being allowed in houses goes back to housing. If a man lived in a house, then they would lose their housing. So, in a way, black men were directly affected by that. So, and then it also forced black women to be independent. It forced us to have independence away from the unit of the family. So
Well,
like it
you
was
know,
like they killed two birds in one. We can separate the family, and then make the black woman so independent of black men that she won't need them.
yeah. I mean, the woman only can do so much with us with their sons. You know, they are a nurturer, so they are beneficial early on in the upbringing of the son. You know, to learn the basics. You know, of life. You know, but they come to an age where they dad need to step in and teach them a lot of things. You know, whether it be how to comb their hair, or how to brush their teeth, or how to saying tie their shoes, or any of the basic stuff that you teach your son. As they're getting older. I think the dad should be right there teaching them. Mom has her role to a certain extent, but the dad overall has the bigger role in his son's life. Now, vice versa with the daughter, I feel like the mom has more say so in that because the same gender, it just makes more sense,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, so and that in itself nowadays is just missing. Like everybody's unaccounted for, or they passing the bucket, or nobody's taking responsibility for their own actions, let alone the actions of their kids. So, what I'm saying? Your kids are a representation of who you are. I always tell my son, you have my last name. So remember that when you're out there, out there doing dumb shit or getting caught up or, any of that. I always tell them, what I'm saying, remember who you are and who you represent and, what I'm saying, and carry yourself accordingly. And that's very important because there's too many of us out here just wilding, doing what we want to do, no accountability, and that's because of lack of the dad being there, really respecting their son and the son respecting them. Because these kids nowadays don't respect their parents. Most of them don't, and they run over them or they talk shit to them or what I'm saying, they figure out a way to manipulate behind their back. So it's a lot of shit between the father son dynamics right now, and it's way off wire. We need to fix it.
Okay. Well, I don't. From a woman's perspective, what I definitely see with my own, I have two sons. And their grandfathers basically playing that role of father.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they, as far as me getting on them, right? They don't necessarily listen to me, but the moment their grandfather comes in, it's like everything changes. And I don't think it's a lack of like love or respect for my kids, but like they just look at me like, okay, so you're a woman first, and there's only so much I can do. My oldest one is like right here, and then the youngest one, he looks up at the older one. So it's like
Fucking dogs.
your dogs are hysterical. So like they basically, there's just a way a man talks to a boy to where it just incites something. So like I definitely think the relationship between father and son, number one, you don't see it a lot in the media
Mm,
at all, whether it be movies. You don't ever see like commercials with the father or son, or movies, or even series
yeah.
with like just father. You don't
Hmm.
see that. It's more a woman, a mother taking care of it.
Yeah.
So even the fracture of seeing, fathers actively present in their kids' lives is missing. You figure it's always the mother,
Yeah, the
in these,
voice of the whole
yeah,
family.
the
Yeah.
voice of the whole family, and the father either not being there and just completely being taken out sort of the picture.
Hmm.
So I think that is also what we see in media. One thing I would say is there was a story out of Shreveport, Louisiana, where fathers got together, dads on duties.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And they went and they not police, but patrolled that's their school because there are fights breaking out. And like one of the girls said, well, why do you listen to these guys? And she said, did you ever get the look? And everybody knows what that look is when a father, doesn't have to say much. I also think that dad's and son's relationship also deals with authority. You know, authority is a young boy is trying to prove himself to his father, so there's going to be clashing. But I think back in the day that the child didn't compete with the father. If anything, he tried to learn from the father. Now here it's like in this generation, F rules. I don't gotta listen to nobody. Da 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 da. So you have sort of that dynamic. So I think just overall, the basis of the family has been fractured.
Yeah.
It has been fractured, especially when you have um, the um, the admiration of men who aren't fathers.
Yeah.
So you look at Future. I don't know how many kids he has.
Who?
Future.
Future?
Yeah. The rapper.
You said feature.
I'm sorry, Future. Future. That's
Future.
Future. Future, he's Future gets applauded, but then Russell Wilson, who's there taking care of his son, he gets called a cornball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We got it.
Completely twisted. So we
celebrate the mediocrity and the shortcomings of fatherhood and just being a player and a woman's man and all that. Like it's a cool thing. And the guy who's there with the lady, without cheating on it, he's a square. Or he's a lame.
He's a cornball.
Cornball. So.
Right. So that's.
I mean, I think this generation is slowly but surely learning that you can have your fun and be messing around with this and that and the other, but after a while that shit play out, and then who you got left to be real with? Like who is there? Y'all all playing each other, so who you got left to be real with if you can't trust the person you laying down with? So
right, and then it gets applauded. Nick Cannon, granted he has money, but that doesn't raise a child. You have, that doesn't, and then DMX, another DMX.
Hold on.